for their statement. The Assembly will now hear a statement by His Excellency Danilo Medina Sanchez, President of the Dominican Republic.
Señores,
Mr. Co-Presidents of this Assembly, Mr. Secretary General, heads of state and government, heads of delegations, delegates, it is an honor to be here representing the people and government of the Dominican Republic in an event that for our country is of the utmost importance. The 2030 Development Agenda, with its adoption of Sustainable Development Goals, is both an inspiring document and a detailed roadmap for the solution of the most important challenges facing mankind today. The fight against poverty, against inequality, against climate change are all interrelated phenomena affecting the lives of billions of men and women. These problems are already part of our agenda in our country, and for that reason we embrace enthusiastically its adoption worldwide. We welcome this commitment that we share of enforcing sustainable development and having a long-term vision. The same vision sometimes threatened by opportunism and the haste imposed by an increasingly connected society. In fact, the MDGs were a source of inspiration that helped us formulate our own National Development Strategy 2030. That led us to focus efforts to consolidate the practice of accountability, to face challenges and weaknesses, but above all, it taught us the power of the unity of purpose, will, and actions. And it also guided us in the strategy that is the roadmap to convert the Dominican Republic into an economic, socially, and environmentally sustainable society with a social and democratic foundation based on the rule of law. In the present administration, we began a campaign to improve opportunities and the capabilities of the population as well as their living conditions. We have done this by protecting early childhood from 0 to 5 years with advances in education, such as the implementation of the extended school, the unprecedented expansion of school infrastructure, and improving the quality of education. But we're also doing this by reducing inequalities in our productive sector, supporting agricultural producers and SMEs, improving financial inclusion, training, and access to technologies. We have achieved the emblematic objectives of the Millennium Development Goals, including reducing extreme poverty by more than half, which dropped from 16.6% to 5.8%. We also comfortably reached the goal of malnutrition, which dropped from 34.4% to 12%, and the established goal of gender parity at each of our levels of education. However, we are aware that we must continue to work on goals on which we still have to improve, and these are certainly part of our highest priority. We are delighted, moreover, by the parallels between our National Development Strategy and these renewed Sustainable Development Goals 2030. It will be very positive, further, that the adoption of these objectives will provide us with a standardized assessment system with which to compare experiences with one another. From now on, we'll orient every effort to make a reality the new vision embodied in the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and we declare the commitment to adapt and assimilate them into our National Development Strategy and the instruments of public administration system. We are also pleased to see how His Holiness Pope Francis has become one of the leading spokesmen for the cause of sustainable development, which is the cause of the poor and the cause of future generations. His encyclical Praised Be You has come just at the right time, not only by taking up the scientific arguments of the climate debate, but going beyond, recovering the full moral dimension of sustainable development. To us Dominicans who live on a small island with many people still suffering poverty and particularly vulnerable to climate change, this dimension appears as an everyday reality. But precisely for that reason, in the Dominican Republic, we are aware that poverty and inequality are not inevitable fatalities of fate, but challenges for which we can and must prepare and with which we must deal with accountably and efficiency. We are therefore fully committed to the goals of sustainable development. We hope to find together the will, as requested by Pope Francis, to escape the sin of indifference, to love the common good, to promote the weak, and to care for the world we live in. Thank you.
Je remercie.
I thank